Listen carefully, chosen one. This message has reached you at the perfect time, not by accident, not by coincidence, but by divine order. You have been searching for answers, feeling the shift in the spiritual realm, sensing that something is changing within you and around you. This is not just another video. This is a calling, a confirmation, a wake-up call from the Most High. God has spoken, and now you must listen, for the battle has begun, and you have been chosen to stand on the front lines. For too long, the enemy has tried to keep you blind, lost in distractions, and buried under fear and doubt. But you are not just anyone. You are the chosen one. You have been marked by God, set apart before you were even born, and now the time has come for you to rise. Everything you have endured, all the pain, all the betrayals, all the moments of isolation, they were not punishments. They were preparations. You were being trained, strengthened, and awakened for this very moment. You feel it in your spirit, don't you? The undeniable pull, the fire inside of you that refuses to be put out. That is the voice of the divine calling you forward. Drop a 777 in the comments if this message is already speaking to your soul. That number itself is a sign, completion, divine alignment, spiritual activation. If you are here, it is because your spirit recognizes the truth. God is speaking directly to you, and today marks the beginning of a new chapter in your journey. The battle you're about to face is not of flesh and blood. This is a spiritual war, one that has been raging since the beginning of time. But here's what you must understand. The war is shifting. The forces of darkness are growing desperate, and the chosen ones are being called into position. You have spent your whole life wondering why you never fit in, why the world seemed to resist you, why you were constantly attacked, misunderstood, and pushed aside. Now the answer is clear. Because you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to lead. You were meant to awaken. You were meant to bring light into a world drowning in deception. You see, the enemy fears you, not because of your physical strength, not because of your material possessions, but because of the power that resides within you. The moment you step into your divine calling, the moment you fully embrace the truth of who you are, the enemy loses his grip. The illusions crumble. The chains break. The strongholds fall. This is why you have been tested so fiercely. This is why you have faced resistance at every turn. Satan does not waste time attacking those who are already lost. He comes after the chosen ones, the warriors, the ones who carry the light of God within them. And that, my friend, is you. But here is the good news. You are not alone. The chosen ones are rising. All across the world, those who have been sleeping are beginning to wake up. The veil is lifting. The truth is being revealed. And now, it is time for you to step forward, to take up your sword, and to walk boldly in your purpose. No more fear, no more hesitation, no more questioning whether or not you are ready. If God has called you, then you are ready. Understand this. The battle is not something that is coming in the distant future. It is here. It has already begun. Every day, you are faced with choices, with challenges, with spiritual attacks designed to weaken you, to break your spirit, to make you doubt your own power. But you were not created to be defeated. You were not chosen to be a victim. You were chosen to be a victor, to stand in the authority given to you by the Most High, to walk through the fire and come out refined, stronger, unshakable. You must make a decision right now. Will you step into your power, or will you let fear hold you back? Will you claim your divine inheritance, or will you allow the enemy to keep you in bondage? The time for waiting is over. The time for questioning is over. The time to rise is now. Mark this day, because it is the beginning of something new. You will not leave this message the same way you came. The fire that has been lit inside of you will not go out. From this moment forward, you will begin to see the world differently. You will recognize the spiritual warfare around you, and more importantly, you will recognize the power within you. And when the enemy comes, when the darkness tries to pull you back, you will remember these words. God said you will defeat Satan. The battle begins today. Are you ready? If you are, declare it in the comments right now. Say, I am ready. Say it with authority, with conviction. Say it like someone who knows that they were sent here for a reason, because you were. Now, let's begin. This world is not what it seems. There is a greater war happening, one that cannot be seen with the naked eye, but is more real than anything in the physical realm. This war has been going on since the beginning of time, a war between good and evil, light and darkness, truth and deception. If you are a chosen one, you have been placed right in the middle of it. Whether you realize it or not, you are a warrior in this battle, and the enemy has been watching you since the day you were born. You see, Satan does not fight those he already controls. He does not waste his energy on the blind, the lost, or the willingly deceived. No, his attacks are aimed at those who are waking up, those who are chosen by God, those who are stepping into their divine purpose. That is why your life has been filled with trials and tribulations, not because you are cursed, but because you are a threat. The moment you were called, you became a target. And now that you are awakening, the war has intensified. But make no mistake, this battle is not one fought with swords and guns. It is not a battle of nations or politics. This is a spiritual war, fought in the unseen realm, where forces of darkness attempt to manipulate, deceive, and destroy the chosen ones before they can fulfill their mission. The weapons of this war are not made of metal, but of energy, intention, and faith. The battlefield is your mind, your soul, your spirit. The enemy does not need to lay a hand on you to destroy you. He only needs to plant the right thoughts, the right distractions, the right fears. And that is exactly what he has been doing. Think about it. How many times have you felt overwhelmed by doubt? How many times have you questioned your own worth, your own abilities, your own purpose? How many times have you felt like giving up, like you were alone, like no one understood you? That is not a coincidence. That is warfare. The enemy's greatest weapon is deception, making you believe that you are weak when you are actually powerful, making you feel alone when you are actually surrounded by divine protection, making you think you are lost when you are actually on the path to victory. And this deception is everywhere. It is in the media, in the music, in the culture. It is in the systems that govern the world. It is in the people around you who try to pull you away from your divine calling. It is even in the thoughts that whisper to you in your weakest moments, telling you that you are not good enough, that you are not chosen, that you will never succeed. That is the enemy's strategy, to keep you blind, distracted, and disconnected from your true power. But here is what the enemy does not want you to know. You have already been given the victory. God has already declared that the chosen ones will win this war. No matter how fierce the battle, no matter how strong the attacks, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. The moment you realize this, the moment you claim your divine authority, the enemy loses his power over you. That is why knowledge is dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. That is why awakening is the greatest threat to the forces of evil. Because once you see the truth, you can never be deceived again. Now, you might be wondering, how do you fight a war that you cannot see? How do you defend yourself against an enemy that works in the shadows? The first step is awareness. You must recognize that everything happening around you has a spiritual root. That argument that drained your energy, spiritual attack. That sudden wave of depression, spiritual attack. That betrayal that left you broken, spiritual attack. Once you start to see the patterns, You will no longer react with emotion. You will respond with wisdom. The second step is strengthening your connection with God. The closer you are to the Most High, the more protected you become. Prayer is not just a ritual, it is a weapon. When you pray, you activate divine forces to fight on your behalf. When you read the Word of God, you sharpen your mind against deception. When you fast, you break spiritual chains that have been holding you back. These are not just religious practices, they are battle strategies. And let's be clear about one thing. The enemy will not stop attacking just because you are aware of him. In fact, the more you awaken, the harder he will try to bring you down. But here is what you must remember. He is already defeated. His power is an illusion. His lies only work on those who believe them. The moment you stand firm, the moment you refuse to be shaken, the moment you declare that you belong to God and no force of darkness can touch you, he has no choice but to flee. This war is not for the weak. It is not for those who are half in and half out. It is for the warriors, the strong, the fearless. And if you are watching this right now, it means that you are one of them. You were not meant to live a life of fear. You were not meant to be a slave to anxiety, depression, or doubt. You were meant to walk in power, in authority, in divine purpose. But power comes with responsibility. You must stay alert. You must guard your spirit. You must be mindful of the people you allow into your life, the things you consume, the habits you cultivate. You cannot afford to be careless. The enemy is always looking for an opening, a weakness, a moment of vulnerability. But if you remain rooted in your faith, if you keep your spirit strong, if you refuse to bow to fear, there is nothing that can stand against you. The time for ignorance is over. The time for hesitation is over. The time to fight is now. This war will not be won by those who sit on the sidelines, waiting for someone else to save them. It will be won by those who rise up, who step fully into their power, who declare with unwavering faith that they are chosen by God and no force in hell can change that. So, chosen one, the question is not whether or not you are in this war. You already are. The real question is, will you fight? Will you stand? Will you claim the victory that has already been given to you? Because whether you realize it or not, the battle has already begun. And now, it is time for you to choose which side you will stand on. Not everyone is called to fight in this war. Not everyone has been chosen to stand against the forces of darkness. But you, chosen one, are different. You have always felt different, haven't you? Like you don't belong. Like the world around you is moving in one direction, but your spirit is pulling you another way. That is not a coincidence. That is a sign. And the more you awaken to your divine calling, the clearer the signs become. One of the biggest signs that you are chosen for this battle is the constant attacks on your life. From the time you were young, you have faced hardships that most people could not endure. Whether it was loss, betrayal, rejection, or unexplained struggles, it always seemed like something was trying to break you. But no matter how many times you fell, you always got back up. The enemy tried to destroy you before you could even realize your own power, because he knew that once you woke up, he would no longer have control over you. Another clear sign is the feeling of isolation. Chosen ones often walk a lonely path. You have never fully fit in, no matter how hard you tried. Friendships, relationships, even family connections, there was always something that made you feel different. And the truth is, you were never meant to fit in. You were set apart. The world does not understand the chosen ones because they are not of the world. The way you think, the way you perceive things, the way your spirit picks up on energies and hidden truths, this is not something everyone experiences. It is part of your spiritual awakening. Have you ever noticed that people are either drawn to you or intimidated by you without any logical explanation? That is because your spirit carries divine energy. Some people feel it, and are inspired by it, while others feel it and are threatened. This is why many chosen ones have experienced rejection from people they once trusted. It's not because you did something wrong, it's because your light exposes their darkness. Some people cannot handle the presence of someone who carries God's power, so they try to push you away, undermine you, or even attack you. Another sign is the battle in your mind. Chosen ones often go through seasons of deep introspection, doubt, and even spiritual attacks that manifest as anxiety or depression. This is because the enemy's main battlefield is your mind. If he can make you believe that you are weak, that you are unworthy, that you are lost, he can keep you from stepping into your true power. But deep down, no matter how many negative thoughts try to pull you down, there is always something inside you that refuses to give up. That is the voice of God, reminding you of who you are. You also experience unusual synchronicities and divine messages. Have you been seeing repeating numbers like 111, 777, or 333? Have you noticed that certain messages seem to come to you at the perfect time? This is not random. God speaks in signs, in patterns, in whispers that only the awakened can understand. Pay attention to these moments, because they are guiding you. The more you align with your calling, the more these signs will appear, leading you exactly where you need to be. Another undeniable sign is the deep sense of purpose, even when you don't fully understand it. You have always felt that you were meant for something greater, something beyond a normal life. Even when you tried to follow the world's path, chasing money, relationships, or material success, something inside you felt empty. That is because your spirit is not satisfied with earthly things. You were designed for a divine mission, and until you step into it, nothing will feel truly fulfilling. Spiritual warfare follows the chosen ones wherever they go. If you have noticed that you attract jealousy, opposition, and unexpected difficulties right when you are about to level up, that is because the enemy is trying to stop you. The closer you get to fulfilling your purpose, the more resistance you will face. But here's what you need to remember. Resistance is proof that you are on the right path. The enemy does not fight against those who are walking in the wrong direction. He fights against those who are walking towards their destiny. Another sign is your ability to see through deception. While others are blind to the spiritual warfare happening around them, you see things for what they really are. You can sense when someone's energy is off. You can pick up on hidden agendas, even when people try to mask them. This is because God has given you discernment, a spiritual gift that allows you to navigate through the lies of the enemy. But this gift comes with responsibility. You must use it wisely and trust it, even when others don't see what you see. Finally, the strongest sign that you are chosen is your connection with God that never truly fades, no matter how far you may have strayed. There have been times when you felt lost, times when you doubted, times when you even turned away from your spiritual path. But somehow, you always found your way back. That is because God's hand has always been on you. No matter how far you drift, He will always call you back, because your mission is too important to be abandoned. If these signs resonate with you, it is because you were meant to hear this message. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. You are a warrior in a battle far greater than what the eyes can see. And now, the time has come for you to step fully into your power. Comment, "I am chosen," if this message spoke to you. Declare it. Own it. Because the moment you claim your identity as a chosen one, the enemy loses his grip. You are not alone in this. The army of the Most High is rising, and you are part of it. Now, it's time to embrace your calling. The battle has begun, and the chosen ones are awakening. The enemy does not attack randomly. His strategies are precise, calculated, and deeply rooted in deception. The moment you realize you are a chosen one, you must also realize that you are dealing with an adversary who has been studying humanity for thousands of years. His tactics are designed to manipulate, confuse, and ultimately separate you from your divine calling. The enemy knows that if you ever step into your full power, his kingdom of darkness will begin to crumble. That is why he fights so hard to keep you blind, distracted, and weak. One of the greatest weapons the enemy uses is deception. He does not come to you in an obvious form, wearing red and holding a pitchfork. He comes disguised as something appealing, something familiar, something that seems harmless. He uses people, situations, and even your own desires to lead you astray. The enemy understands that the best way to keep the chosen ones from fulfilling their purpose is not through force, but through confusion. If he can distort your perception of truth, make you doubt yourself, and lead you away from your spiritual path, then he has already won half the battle. This deception is everywhere. It is in the media, in the government, in the education system, in social structures. It is designed to keep humanity asleep, disconnected from God, and controlled by fear. The enemy does not want you to think for yourself. He does not want you to question the world around you. He wants you to follow blindly, to be another soul lost in the crowd. That is why chosen ones always feel like they are different, because they are the ones who are meant to wake up and see through the illusion. Another strategy the enemy uses is distraction. If he cannot deceive you, he will distract you. He will fill your life with unnecessary problems, toxic relationships, addictions, and endless cycles of stress and chaos. These distractions are meant to drain your energy and keep you too exhausted to focus on your spiritual growth. Think about it. How many times have you felt close to a breakthrough, only to suddenly be hit with unexpected troubles? That is not a coincidence. The enemy knows that a distracted mind is a weak mind, and a weak mind is easy to control. The enemy also works through temptation. He knows your weaknesses. He knows exactly what to offer you to make you stray from your divine path. He will present opportunities that seem too good to be true, relationships that feel like destiny but are actually traps, and shortcuts that promise success but come at a cost. Temptation is not always about sin. It is about anything that takes you away from God's will. Many chosen ones fall into this trap, believing that they are making progress, when in reality, they are being led further away from their true calling. Fear is another powerful tool of the enemy. He wants you to be afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, afraid of stepping into your power. Fear paralyzes. It keeps you from moving forward. It keeps you stuck in toxic situations because you are too afraid to leave. It keeps you silent when you should be speaking up. The enemy knows that fear is one of the most effective ways to control people, and that is why he uses it so aggressively against the chosen ones. He wants you to believe that you're not strong enough, not ready enough, not worthy enough. But here is the truth. Fear is an illusion. It only has power if you believe in it. The moment you decide to move forward despite fear, it loses its grip on you. Another tactic of the enemy is isolation. The enemy wants you to believe that you are alone, that no one understands you, that no one else sees the truth. He will make you feel like an outcast, like you do not belong anywhere. He will remove people from your life, close doors, and make you question whether you are even on the right path. This is because he knows that when you are isolated, you are more vulnerable to attacks. But the truth is, you are never alone. God is always with you, guiding you, strengthening you. And there are others, other chosen ones, other warriors in this battle, who are also awakening. The enemy just does not want you to find them, because when chosen ones unite, they become unstoppable. One of the most dangerous strategies the enemy uses is attacking your mind. He whispers lies, plants doubts, and fills your thoughts with negativity. He makes you question yourself, your abilities, your worth. He reminds you of your past mistakes, making you feel unworthy of God's love. He tells you that you are not strong enough, not wise enough, not chosen. And if you believe these lies, they become your reality. That is why the Bible says to guard your mind, to renew your thoughts, to focus on what is true and righteous. The mind is the battlefield, and whoever controls it wins the war. The enemy also works through spiritual attacks in your dreams. Many chosen ones experience intense nightmares, sleep paralysis, or disturbing visions at night. This is because the spiritual realm does not sleep. The enemy tries to infiltrate your subconscious, attacking you when you are most vulnerable. If you have been experiencing this, understand that it is not just a bad dream. It is spiritual warfare. Before you sleep, cover yourself in prayer, ask for divine protection, and rebuke any demonic influence trying to enter your space. The last and perhaps most subtle tactic of the enemy is manipulating the people around you. The enemy will use those closest to you, family, friends, co-workers, to discourage you, to speak doubt into your life, to make you question your faith. Not because they are evil, but because they are being used without even realizing it. The enemy knows that if he can get to the people you trust, he can get to you. That is why discernment is crucial. Pay attention to who is speaking into your life. Pay attention to who is supporting you and who is trying to pull you away from your path. Not everyone who is close to you is meant to go where you are going. Now